Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And here we almost done with this series. This is the last part of this series. So we are going to make those back wings and texture this parrot. So I enter in back view with tab and right click. You can get that menu, and after that I'm placing image here. And now I'm scaling this image and moving image to match my view. After setting up this back image, I'm going to start with taking cube and working on back wing or feather, you can go. So we are going to start with middle one, and I'm adding this image in a layer, so accidentally I don't click on image while working on a object. So I have taken cube here and trying to match with my reference image, and now I'm going to add some edges here, and now I'm working with vertices and trying to match with image. And after that with shift I select faces, and with control I'll select those edges which I don't want, and I'm working on the way. So matching image reference image to my model. So again I'm going to extrude and moving those vertices to match image. So this method going to repeat over again. Now I'm trying to all vertices on same level. After that again selecting those faces and extrude them. With G you can repeat last command, so you don't have to go on the menu to extrude the model. Again selecting faces and extrude them. And scaling, because that feather or wing part going to be narrow on bottom, as you can see on reference. which I have opened in Pure app. So we're done with the model, and I have I enter in perspective view, and because I have selected this model, pressing F I am able to go on the mode, and after that I have selected I enter in a vertices mode and press the B on keyboard for smooth mode, and dragging mouse you can change the size. I have hit 3 on keyboard. Now I'm adding some edges here and there. Pressing 3, so I'm able to enter in smooth mode and selecting the edges, and with shift I have deleted that edge. Right click on mouse, with shift selecting edge and right click on mouse you can able to enter in that mode and able to delete the edges. After that I have tried to set this on the model. So we're done with middle one, and now we have left to make two other smaller one. And I have selected object mode. Sometimes I just add edges and then I feel like there's no need of those edges, so I've deleted those later on. So that I'm doing that. Trying to setting this on model, and I have lost the recording of second part, so it's for it's going to be same way. I have model like the first one using back mode and take the cube, and after that extrude the faces, and I have made this. After that I'm trying to set up this on body. So I have selected back mode and trying to check if it's looking over fine, and it was. So I'm trying to setting this on a body. So again we going to move this around, so selecting edges and hit B on keyboard, and I'm trying to moving this. So smooth selection mode is really helpful, and my model also in smooth mode. I have pressed on 3 and it's smooth selection mode by pressing B, and you can enter and also come out from that mode. Also you have to press B again. I have increased the here some geometries, edges and all. Again I have select the smooth mode by pressing B, and by dragging mouse I have trying to make a size smaller, and then I try to make match the reference. And now we are going to make a last one. So again I have taken the cube and I can see clearly from the end. So I have start this one with hand, the middle one I have start from the top, and this one I have start from bottom because it's clearly I can see the flow which way it's going. And now we are going to say adding some edges and going to select faces and trying to match with reference, and going to extrude and repeating the same, selecting a faces and unselecting, then extrude those faces, and with vertices trying to match the object with reference image. So I'm going to repeat same thing, and with G you can repeat last command. So here I have done last thing was extruding the faces. So I don't want to go over and over again the menu on top cell, so I just select the faces and hit G on keyboard, so it's repeating the last command. And right now it's on hard mode, so on keyboard when you press 1 it's on a hard mode. So I'm repeating the same thing, extruding, selecting vertices and moving them side. Again trying to extruding, so we're going to same way finish this last visual. So we are almost done with the modeling of this parrot. All part is almost model and this one is last. So we done with modeling and again going to match this. So little bit scale in and making thickness small. And now again I have pressed the B on keyboard and enter in a smooth selection mode and trying to move this around. And with mouse and dragging, pressing B and dragging with mouse, I can change the size. I have pressed the 3 on keyboard to look how it look like on the smooth mode. And now I'm going to add some edges and I have pressed the B and out from the smooth selection mode and adding some edges. And pressing 3. I'm going to delete those excess edges, selecting edges and right click with shift. But it doesn't look right. Now I'm going to apply the Lambert on this model because by default there's a standard surface was assigned model. So I want to apply the Lambert material and here I'm adding some edges. So I have pressed the 1 on keyboard and then add that edges and delete that one. Now it looks nice. And I have increased the overall the edges and total faces and all vertices. Now I'm trying to relating some extra edges. Control Z, and after that I enter in smooth mode. I have select on tab, and then I smooth out those edges, and our model is ready. I'm just trying to set up these two. So next thing we are going to work on the texture. So I'm going to use the ZBrush and Photoshop for texturing. So we are going to first texture the eye. So here in UV editor, selecting all UV and fold, scaling inside, object mode, selecting first eye and second one, and with transfer attribute option component, and I'm transferring the UV, so I don't have to UV unwrap again. Those are the same, as you can see, those are the same UV from two eyes, and there's no change. They have the same texture. So I'm going to export these eyes OBJ, and I'll drag and press the edit and increasing some geometry, and make sure that you unselected that G add and G sub was turn off, because we are only working here on the texturing, not the modeling. So polyband, colorize, and I have select material and RGB. I don't know, I have many times select those other material, but somehow I'm end up choosing the same one. I don't know, I like the skin shader more, maybe. But we are going to select matte capre, and in texture I'm going to import the reference image. In texture I have opened the image and going to increase the opacity, but you can't do that without so pressing Z you can select the color, but as you can see I'm trying to draw and just draw the picture, because there's a in sample spotlight projection was on. So this is spotlight I have selected. Now you can see I can draw the color, and in the end I end up using this skin shader. I don't know, but I just like using this material. So hitting Z, so I can enter the spotlight mode and then pick up the color and pressing Z again, and now I'm drawing. And you have to check on RGB intensity and draw size and focal shift lens size. So I'm using one by Wacom tablet. So during this texture process, all I'm going to do is pressing Z, picking the color, and after that drawing texture with color. So hit Z, I have picked the color, and I'm drawing the object with this color. Somehow I like this way drawing the texture, because it will be on perfectly. I can apply on object. The part was perfectly matched, so I don't have to move around much the object texture. So I'm drawing this with my tablet, and as you can see, GRG sub was turned off. I'm just using that color bar options. So for when I don't need the different color from there, I already have drawn those color on the object, so I can pick directly by moving that. But when I need a new color, so I am hitting the G, picking that color from spotlight image, and then pressing Z, and then trying to draw. As you can see, I have decreased the intensity here, and also draw size and focal shift line size. So I'm focusing with this image, so able to draw well. So it's going to be same process. When I need those color, I'm either already drawn those colors, then I'm picking those on from my object, and new color I'm going to pick from the my spotlight. So pressing Z and selecting that picking color, all you have to do is I'm dragging that one to pick up the color. So I have again pressed the Z and trying to pick color, and again press the Z, and now I start the drawing that color. So I'm going to follow this process all over and drawing this a texture on the eye object. It start looking little bit nice here. Most of time I have used the standard brush and freehand. So I'm dragging this one object and selecting color and start coloring. And before we started painting this object and we input this object in ZBrush, I already done that UV unwrapping. So after I done with drawing, we are able to take out those export those texture from the ZBrush, because we have already done. And if you don't have done, then we can still export those texture that I'm going to do with the body part. So as you can see, I have increased the RGB intensity here, and size of drawing, brush size and focal zip size also as a time to time change. Yes, it's little bit time consuming, but still faster process. As you can see, I have changed the focal zip value and draw size value. I made a brush size smaller. I'm picking color from the object. Early I have done. Now again changing some focal zip size. As you can see, my RGB intensity also not a higher value. It's 64. I keep looking on the image and drawing the color, painting this texture on the object. As you can see in reference image, middle part on those little cube type drawing, it was brighter. So I'm picking the color from the object and trying to choose little bit brighter color. I'm trying to make the edges sharp here of this round. Pressing Z and out from that spotlight projection mode and drawing side part. Now I'm going to export this texture, so you can select this and export those texture. So it create all the map because we already done UV mapping before we bring this object here on GBrush. So it's create all map, and now I'm going to give this, select this object and Pong, and now we are going to give that texture we have painted in the GBrush. So we have our object here, and I'm just little bit increasing ambient color. It's kind of look nice, but we're going to do some twitching or UV cell, selecting eyes, and this part need to be moving around. Now it look nice. So we're going to transfer this on object mode, selected one, and a second object, and I'm going to transfer the UV, and now we have that change on both sides. So eyes texture already done. Now we're going to pick the color in Photoshop. So take new layer, and with bucket I'm going to fill and export out, so saving as a JPEG. So this texture will be going to on leg and beak of parrot. There is no need to have reflection here, so selecting that JPEG, and it look nice. The leg and beak part not going to be very shiny, so I have decreased that specular color. So now we'll select the body and those feet there. So I'm not going to unwrap body here because I want to show. Sometime I act like a lazy. So here I'm mapping this feathers on front and back. So map those all. I'm not going to do mapping on body because I'm going to show. If you sometimes feel lazy, let the gibberish unwrap for you. So I'm importing the body, press the edit, increase the geometry, colorize, again selecting skin shader. Also we're going to on the spotlight projection, increase the opacity, going to stroke change as a freehand. Still picking the color and start drawing. But as you can see, there's no color, so we have to go in brush in sample and switch off the spotlight projection, and now I am applying the color. So I'm applying the color all over with low intensity. My brush draw size is bigger right now, and I'm going to decrease that. All you have to do is notice your reference. You will have increasing the Z, picking the color. We're going to draw heart. So increase the intensity. There are few time it will be going to undo by pressing Ctrl Z. Undo mostly stay same. So from start trying to have perfect shape, trying to fill out that hard part, and then I'm going to touch out. So picking the color and making those edges sharp. And you have to pick color from different area. Because all part doesn't going to have same. So picking the color and sharpening the heart. And now it look nice. So there's a dark part on wing. Actually it's because of light, but we are trying to still making this match with little bit reference. So I'm not trying to make totally dark, but little bit. So we almost done with the painting texture on the body. I feel like that I have to work on these hard edges, trying to make them sharp. So working again on it, and it's look nice. Zooming out and nice. So we're going to use UV master, but as you can see I have clicked and it will not going to do UV unwrapping. Why? Because I was on higher level on geometry, so you have to first trying to decrease your geometry level, otherwise it will not work. It will not work. Now we already unwrap this, so we're going to export the texture. On desktop, saving the all with new name and creating all, and start making the texture. On is so one, and I have also export that OBJ from the ZBrush from first sub in geometry, first level, subdivided first level, and now we're going to apply the texture. Why I have done? Because ZBrush unwrapped that model body, not the one we export first, which already was in our scene. So I have applied the blend, and we have a texture. So I'm going to select that texture and apply. So as you can see, without doing the UV unwrapping in Maya, I have done UV unwrapping in ZBrush when I was feeling lazy and I want to quick. So all we have to do work on is feather. So one I will show on ZBrush and second one I'm going to show on Photoshop. I'm going to show two technique, and I believe even Photoshop one is not bad. I have early on unwrapped this one like this. Other was not same way unwrapped. So I'm exporting the OBJ. Dragging, hitting edit, increase the geometry. And smoothing out. And like the body, and I am going to draw texture on here. Same way. There's no different thing. I'm going to on the spotlight, increasing the opacity, and in brush going to in a sample spotlight projection, and I'm turn off the GA add and sub and color price, selecting skin shader again, and with pressing Z picking the color, and I'm going to start drawing the color. But I thought I should try symmetry here, but it's not working. So without the symmetry I'm working. So first trying to give the one color, and now going to work on this small part of those color white. As you can see, front one, and so I'm looking at the reference image and trying to match this. And I'm going to same way export this texture like I did. With Ctrl Z you can do undo. So there's no texture on back side, so I have to draw on back side as well. Yeah. And I'm exporting this texture. I'm going to apply on the model. So front two feather was going to texture in ZBrush, and back 3 I'm going to do with Photoshop. So I have taken plane here, giving name. I'm not giving proper name here, but just given name. I have idea. This one was that object texture. So we're going to export second one OBJ. And then importing in. So I'm planner mapping this one like I have done those backside 3 with scale gain proper. So exporting OBJ, importing in ZBrush, and same way I'm going to texture this. So taking new document, importing, dragging and then edit, and dividing, I forget to on smooth. So when I done that, this look different. So Control Z. Doing that, I am accidentally enter on last one. Plus in and inputting. Then edit and in frame. Dividing the geometry and smoothing out. And then we're going to do coloring. So picking the color. As you can see, I haven't done the pressing Z, so it's still like the viewport color. So you have to press the G to pick color from spotlight, and again pressing Z to pick the color from the spotlight, and again pressing Z to come out from that option. And there's not much we have to do much here. So I'm drawing on back side. And exporting texture. It will create all the map, specular, bump map, but we haven't done anything like we need a bump and all. So I'm just using the normal. So it's done. We're going to apply the texture. Some renaming. Yeah, it's look weird because each time I'm exporting OBJ from Maya, all the object texture created by the Maya on my desktop, the copy of texture. So now we're going to do with back one. So I'm selecting given the texture. Now I'm done, I'm going to show. So it is here in Photoshop to create simple texture like this. So I'm going to in object mode. Again I feel like I need some touch up. Object mode. And the last one. So we planar map, then UV editor, selecting UV cell and scaling. Then you have to do is export the UV spot snapshot. After that, open the Photoshop and open this if image. We're going to need the color, so I have done that, and I'm going to copy. Control J and I'm drawing this. So it will be going to select that man, and all we have to do is I have taken the new layer and I'm going to draw. So I have pick up the color and going to draw. So I'm looking where I have to need those color, and again going to pick the color, taking another layer on the bottom, by eraser I'm erasing those so we can have sharp lining. And we're going to export. Control D, unselecting, and then we are going to export this JPEG. Okay, I have saved this as a tip. Again doing the same, saving as a tip without the layer. And applying. So our model almost ready with the texture. So next thing I'm going to show the lighting and rendering process that you can understand by watching without my voiceover. So thanks for watching today's tutorial, and please like, subscribe and share my video, and thanks for watching. In future I will come with more new tutorial. And as we can see here, I have need to do little bit tweaking, so I'm going to scale inside and done. There's no black part and our model is done. So thanks for watching, and in future I will come up with more tutorials. So thanks.